Welcome everybody to this session on bringing enterprise social to the LMS. My name is Ned Walker, this is Rob Harrison, and this afternoon we're going to talk to you about our new platform called Svelte Social, which we are launching here at the show today. Can I just have a quick show of hands who has heard of Walkgrove? Anybody? No? Nobody's heard of Walkgrove. There you go, we are the industry's best kept secret then, which I'm hoping to change, obviously. So, just a little bit of about who we are. The company was founded in 1994 by two learning and development specialists who used to work for British Coal. So we've been around a long time. The core of our business is bespoke learning consultancy or learning development or learning solutions. As I said, owned and run by training professionals, so instructional design is at the core of everything we do. We're a fairly small organisation, but we are able to scale up quite quickly. We've got a database of about 350 associates that we work with regularly, and as you can see there, we've won quite a number of industry awards over our history. So what we do, e-learning, everything from rapid development using authoring tools, etc., right up to the full bespoke solutions. Native apps, obviously a lot of mobile learning happening these days. We've been developing some apps for Tesco recently. Multi-device content, obviously that's something that's becoming more and more prevalent in organisations these days. One of our unique selling points, I think, is the fact that we do blended programs very well. And we do pride ourselves on that. We also do consultancy and generic learning and the platform we're here to talk to you about today, Svelte. So this is who we work with. As you can see, there's quite a broad range of clients there, from the public sector, the private sector, and down in the left-hand corner there you can see some of the third sector clients that we're currently working with. So I think it just gives you a bit of an idea of the breadth and the depth of our capabilities. Okay, so what is Svelte? Svelte was basically born out of client request, basically. Hands up those who are currently using an LMS of any description. Yes? Okay. These particular clients came to us with a particular need. They wanted something simple that would deliver e-learning, track it, maybe certify on the completion if needed. So they were looking for something quite, quite simple in its structure. So basically, we've built Svelte, and over the years we have adapted it for a number of clients, and it is basically just for tracking SCORM and SCORM compliant packages. You can see some of the clients there that are currently using it. The functionality, similar to most LMSs on the user end. It does allow users to access allocated courses to them. They can also access a list of courses that might be available. They can obviously launch the modules, it tracks it and all that sort of thing. From the admin side of Svelte, similar sort of functionality to most of the other LMSs that you'd be familiar with. However, down on the bottom right there, you'd see we've developed a powerful e-commerce solution that can bolt onto Svelte. So if you're selling e-learning courses as a company, and we have that e-commerce engine that we call Svelte e-commerce, able to pay with PayPal or credit card, etc. So this is one instance of Svelte. This is done for Nottingham Law Society. The front end is a full portal. So just show you some of the screens. It allows users to self-register if they want to. You can see there, this portal front end lists all the courses by categories that are available in the LMS, and then allows them to be purchased via the e-commerce functionality. Once they're logged in, they can see the list of courses that are allocated to them, launch the courses, etc. So, at this point, I'm going to hand over to Rob. Can I have just a show of hands, anybody who is currently using a social learning platform of any kind? No? Okie doke. I'll hand over to Rob, who's one of our associates, who's going to take you through the rest of the presentation.
I don't need that one, I don't think. I'll need that. Thanks, Ned. So that was Ned, everybody. And he was talking about the Svelte LMS, which is a standard product. But as he said towards the end, it's very modular, so we can add on extra bits like the e-commerce module. And the next development for us really is the kind of social element. But the challenge was how to deal with the traditional learning environment that we have within our client base. Old school learning, we all remember from sitting there. I went to school in Cape Town. He went to school in somewhere even further south than me. And it's very traditional over there. When we came to the UK, it's the same, but a bit more relaxed. But that kind of school learning was successful for passing exams, but talk about retention, and it's not exactly the same. So it's very expensive to get people to go to classrooms all over the world, so e-learning started. And what we found was people were just plonked in front of e-learning. The original e-learning was all PowerPoint based. It was just put PowerPoint online and get people to go through it themselves in their own time. Learners were learning on their own. So we started to make it interactive for customers, which is great. And it started to become more things that they could click, more courses that we go through. And Svelte traditionally does that. Walkgrove as a business, that's what 99% of our business is based around. However, there's a challenge, because the challenge is people learn best with other people. Outside the classroom, people learn in different ways without even realizing it. So we all read, we all watch things. I watched something last night in the Great Rift Valley, God only knows why, and in 5 years' time I'll be able to regurgitate everything about the Great Rift Valley and where whales come from, just because I watched something on TV last night and we were having a chat about it, because the information tends to absorb more when you listen, you watch, you read, and you talk. But we're a long way from the days of tin cans and pieces of string, and now everyone's talking on Twitter. Before the presentation started, you saw the tweet wall up there. Everyone's talking about the show today, who they've seen, which providers they like, and it's how to harness that. People are talking about what they've learned, and they're passing it on to people who aren't even at the show today. So how do we harness this within our organization? So one of the decisions that we made was to put a front end on top of a traditional LMS system, so that you could still have your SCORM compliant LMS training and it would still fit with your organizational needs, but actually it would give your users and the people within your organization a much prettier front end for them, and that way they could share courses and stuff. So we developed Svelte Social, which is what we term our social learning platform, and it's something that we're launching today. And you have to bear with me, because I don't normally do things like this. I sit in a room and I talk about platforms all day with developers and techies. And Ned, in his infinite wisdom, decided that it would be good for me to come along today. So that's why I'm sweating. I haven't got my glasses on because they don't fit with the headphones that they gave me. But, you know, I can see some of you, so, and some empty seats. Svelte Social. The problem with any platform deployment is, what do you do? Within a small organization, there's a commitment to a big upfront cost for an LMS. And that's really the challenge that Svelte on its own solved, because it was an LMS light, if you like. So it had all the essential bits, but none of the clutter. With Svelte Social, we've taken that a stage further. We have, of course, the training and compliance module in there, and we integrate with the LMS system. But we also throw in project and group collaboration, the expert identification, which I'll talk to you about in a second, and what we call intelligent Q&A, which is the question and answer bit, where people are looking for information within an organization. So if you're a small business, this is great, because it handles everything without you having to buy lots of different systems. If you're a big organization, what tends to happen is you have very big systems, but they are cluttered with information. So your LMS will be packed full of learning courses, and the challenge is people finding courses that are relevant to them. We have a principal features slide, and you saw one earlier for the standard Svelte product. But actually, for the Svelte Social, we go a bit further. It's about surfacing knowledge. It's about tagging content. It's not just about deploying LMS SCORM-compliant content. You can deploy any asset within Svelte Social. So you can take a quick video from YouTube, or a video that you've filmed or you've got hanging around, or a document, a compliance document. Somebody needs to read the new expenses policy or the company car policy. It's just an asset as far as Svelte Social is concerned. And you deploy it, And it's up there. It's a task for that particular group or those individuals or everyone within your organization. It happens very quickly, but it integrates with your LMS, because whilst they're looking for that compliant content, they're also seeing content that exhibits everywhere else. We talked earlier about some of the other things that it does in terms of group collaboration, and that's all built in. You have private, public, invite-only groups, and you can split your training accordingly to those groups, just like you can on a normal LMS, but this is a nice, pretty front end. LinkedIn integration was one of the big things there. When we're talking about experts within an organization, we have implicit experts and explicit experts. And we, for example, on LinkedIn, you have the ability to endorse people for their skills. Svelte Social pulls those in and surfaces them within the system. So if you're looking for somebody within your organization who understands a particular piece of learning, it will not only show you the learning, but it will show you the people alongside that who are expert in that particular area. So in some ways taking the load off your L&D department. Like I said, the content management system allows you to upload videos or documents, anything. You can point it at an LMS course that you've got, or you can point it at a Vimeo video, or you can point it at your Google Drive repository of documents. It integrates with lots of things. There's a calendar function in there, which is built in, so that you can see what's due and when, and you can assign mandatory dates to things. I'll show you some screens in a minute. So this is what we talk about surfacing knowledge. At the top there's a search bar, which I started to type internal comms into, and this is our demo, one of our demo instances. So it's not entirely populated as it would be in a live environment, but you can see the search results that start to pop up underneath, where you start to get specialists, different topics that relate to your search, and you get documents, and some of those documents would be learning modules. And then the ability to click on those and discuss them with your colleagues and comment on them. As I said, you can build groups. That's a very nice image of one of our devs. You can build groups, test groups. You can invite people to them, close groups, and assign content to those groups. As I said, you can have lots of different types of groups, public, private, and invite only, which enables you to segment your training and segment your collaboration. Adding a to-do item is really simple. You just, like I said, you just grab the item, give it a title, description, give it a due date, Monday, 2 years' time, a week on Wednesday, and then you can search for any users or groups within your system and assign it to those either on an individual basis, if you want a particular individual, in this case me, to do something by Monday, or if you want to assign it to the entire marketing department or whoever. And it's got an email notification system built in, excuse me, which enables you to send custom messages out to certain users. You could tell some people to ignore it, or you can tell some people that they need to do it earlier. And it has full reporting built into it. And again, this integrates with the LMS system. So apart from just deploying normal LMS content, you can also add your LMS content as a mandatory item through here. The dashboard itself has the notifications built into it. So when you're logging in, it surfaces those notifications across your current dashboard. So you're not just reliant on the email or any of the SMS stuff, but you also get it when you log in. We're talking about integration, and it really does integrate with all of this stuff. So it pulls the APIs from Google Apps, which gives you access to Google Calendar should you need it, or the Google Mail, Google Docs in the old days, but now Google Drive. And you just connect your corporate account or your individual accounts to it, and it surfaces documents from within there. We've just recently deployed the Dropbox API, which is really cool because so many people are now moving to quick and easy document sharing outside their IT departments who wanted everything to go through their VPN and their server, and people are now plugging in their Dropboxes. And this enables you to run your corporate Dropboxes or individual team member ones and link to all of those. SharePoint was standard. It was probably the first thing that we integrated with because so many people in the bigger organizations that we come across have a SharePoint system with the LMS sitting next to it, and the two didn't really talk. With Svelte Social, we found a way of combining the two so that we can talk to both the SharePoint and the LMS at the same time and surface information from both so that you have true integration within your organization. Jive and Yammer, obviously for internal comms, and putting those up against the side of the collaboration pieces, and obviously LinkedIn, as I talked about earlier. We see Svelte Social as pretty limitless, but then we would because it's our product. But really, where we're seeing it achieve really quick wins is on the onboarding piece, where people are deploying it very quickly and easily next to their LMSs, but for quick onboarding content or pre-learning content before people attend. And then once they're in, they're using it as a front end for their existing stuff, either in terms of their CPD, continuing education bit, or their remote location support. A lot of IT departments are now talking to us about how they can train their users. So rather than supporting them through the traditional help desk model, how they can use Svelte Social to quickly deploy IT training and IT support. That's alongside the LMS, but outside the LMS. It's about quick wins for people. So you wouldn't build a 2-hour LMS SCORM compliant course to teach somebody how to configure their printer on a Sunday afternoon. But really, that's what you can do with here. You can quickly grab a mobile phone video of you plugging in your printer. You can do a screencast with it and just deploy it as a task. And that's the end of where I am on the platform, and I'm going to hand back to Ned now, and he's going to take over.
Thanks, Rob. I guess we could open up the floor to questions if there are any. We've got still a few minutes to go, probably about 5 or 10 minutes. So if there's any questions at this point, if you'd like to ask, feel free. Otherwise, we will be on stand number 5. So you can come and ask us about pricing, how all the details of how it integrates with different systems. We've also got some generic content that we're just launching as well, bite-sized pieces of generic e-learning pieces. There's some information on those over at the stand as well. Thank you very much for listening. You can visit our website for more information. You'll find all the information on Svelte Social up there. But if you've got any questions, we'll be hanging around here for a few minutes as well. So thanks very much.